Hey, and thanks for joining us on the 260th episode. I'm Eden, this is my dad Noah, and if this is new for you, this is the follow-up, and we've been doing this for 5 years now, every week since I was 5 years old. And if you're not new, welcome back. Last week we talked about a survey that was in the Week Junior about how kids feel about the news. And one of the questions was, if you could tell the adults in the world one thing, what would it be? And I said that all of your actions affect the future. So that's you. My dad said, "Oh, well, that could spark a conversation for this week." So that's what we're going to talk about. We'll take it from there.
Yeah, and I think as important as the podcast is, and if you haven't subscribed, it's easy to do so on wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube if you're watching. One of the things is to not just be able to have a conversation, but to find these small moments and then break them out into a larger conversation. You've been doing these small moment stories since you were like in first grade. So I'm continuing to challenge you to find small moments and think about how could this be a conversation? How could this relate to other people? So something you said about having what the adults, when they make decisions, how it impacts everybody else really did impact me, because as an adult and as your dad, I'm constantly thinking about how my decisions impact you. Not just my decisions in our household, but how my decisions at work or in socializing. I always want you to be able to, if you were following me around for the day, the decisions I'm making, I would want you to be proud of those decisions that I'm making in the course of my day. Mm-hmm. So the decisions I'm making in the course of my day are not impacting the world for the rest of time, like politicians often do, or policymakers. But I want you to I want you to understand how seriously I take my decision making because of you.
Like, I think probably what I was saying was probably more directed at politicians, but even small actions can still make a big difference. Maybe it's not on the whole world, but even on one person's life. Mm-hmm. But then small actions that are good can impact so many people. Like, your small actions can brighten so many people's day, or even just one person's day, and that can just mean so much.
Right, and I've always said to you, it is so much easier to be nice than it is to be a bad person. Yeah. It's so much easier. It takes a lot of work to be a bad person or to act negatively towards somebody. It takes a lot of work if you're doing it consciously. But it doesn't take much just to be a pleasant person, nice person to be around. So you were talking more about politicians, though. So expand on that. What were you thinking about when you said that?
Some things I was talking about. We can start with, well, there were two things under the same topic, like education. Mm-hmm. Cutting out of like the DOE funding. Mm-hmm. Like kids. Sorry, I said like. Mm-hmm. It's so important for kids to get a good education, because then they're shaping the future for their next generation, and to have good schools, and even just to have so many schools, and they're free, and for kids to go to them, and for teachers to get paid and have great resources and all of that stuff. Like, it's not fair just to take away all of that stuff.
Correct, and not fair for people to make decisions on that who aren't qualified to do so, or it doesn't impact their lives.
Right.
So you have to think about how this is impacting everyone's lives, not just someone's budget.
But then it's also like, even to expand on that, if you're taking away, if politicians are taking away money from colleges too, that means that, because it's very important for people to go to college too, that cost of college will go up, then college won't be as, the education might not be as...
Yeah, it won't be as accessible.
Yep. Might not be as good. Yep. And that's important.
Yes, I mean, everything starts with education.
Right.
Yeah, and and it's, we talk about in politics, they talk about where other countries are ahead of us in certain areas, yet funding gets taken away from our research or our departments of education, or people are making decisions in the Department of Education or different school districts around the country because of their own interests and what they think is best for certain kids, because of the way it will impact them with more powerful politicians. It just you have to focus on the kids and their futures. It is there's just no other way to operate.
Yeah.
No other way. Yeah. And what about, you ever think about like environmental policy?
Yeah, like
Did that happen to be
yes,
what else?
That was,
oh,
yeah.
okay. All right.
If you know Union Square, New York, there's a big clock. You can look it up. It'll be I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I forget what it's called. Like the
if you
countdown.
look up Union Square environmental countdown, you'll find it. So that clock symbolizes the time where it's not the end of the world. Don't worry. That's what a lot of people think. It's when you can't reverse climate change. And I think, I don't know, I in Union Square a lot of the days. I think it's I don't know what it is. It's either 4 years or 2 years. Or maybe 7 years. It's one of those. It is one of those.
But if you think about like, but even 2, 4, 7, like, not a whole lot of time.
No, it's not. And like I do notice how people are trying to get, politicians and those people are trying to get electric cars. That's a thing. But they're not accessible. They're not affordable for a lot of people.
Well, and the government has now pushed fuel cars again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but that's not even it. It's what's it called?
And greenhouse gases.
Yeah,
all sorts of things. Yes.
But that's an important issue that's definitely not getting enough attention, because I don't think anyone realizes that you can't. It's like you can't turn back after a certain point.
Right.
Well, and even now, there's 100 things you can't turn back on in that. But there's a lot of things that can make a big difference that can set that back.
You think so? Politicians are elected on cycles.
Yes.
You think there should be a youth council in every state?
Yeah.
That meets with governors and senators to talk about the issues that are most important to kids. So kids of, say, take it from, I don't know, maybe 8 years old to 18 years old, or 8 years old to 8 to 17 years old, because then you can start voting at 18, so that so that the policymakers can bring to the table, hey, here's what we're thinking, and so that kids can ask questions.
And it's not like confidential, like secret stuff.
No.
Just like legit things that are gonna affect kids in the future, affect kids now, things that kids should have a say in, because it's gonna affect them.
Yeah, like actually tell us what your day is like in school, or what you are learning, or like really put effort into hearing from kids, because this is your future.
And maybe even that council of kids talks to other kids, because sometimes a lot of kids don't want to talk to adults sometimes, but governors, like especially people with high power, but if kids are talking to other kids, that could help and definitely open a lot of new doors.
Yeah, and then you have a summit with all the other kids once a year, something like that.
Around the country, yeah.
Maybe we're onto something.
Maybe we are.
Yeah, there should be some sort of this type of youth council.
Yeah, I think that would really help.
You know anybody we can talk to about this?
No, I don't.
Maybe somebody listening does?
Maybe.
Or maybe somebody listening could direct us to resources to find out if maybe this exists, or or the best way to have kids' voices heard aside from this podcast.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty interesting.
I like that idea.
Anything else on your mind, like besides education, environment? It doesn't even have to be specific. I mean, Yeah, it doesn't even have to be policymakers, anything at home or you see other adults do.
I was thinking, like, this is kind of like this, kind of not like this, related. But in history, we were learning about in medieval Europe how they had, it was a, or at part of that year, and how they had
Part of that era?
part of that era, how
Okay.
they had like a feudal system. Like we kind of have that a little bit now, but we have it in so many different ways. Like it was like,
No more likes.
it went the Pope to the King, or Pope to the King, to the Lord, to the Knight, to the serf or vassal or whatever it was. But everyone was a vassal to somebody except God.
Okay.
And I was thinking how it was like, I was thinking how it relates to our world now. How we might not have that same system where they're lords and everyone's a servant to somebody and works on their plots of land. But I was trying to think about in our society, just how everything works, and I was just thinking about like the levels of it, even like within companies, and how I was thinking about how that has transformed even like in our government, and I was thinking about how all the different branches kind of relate up to one, and it kind of still follows that pyramid in a lot of different ways.
The fact is, we need a system that builds everybody up.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, it's a good thought. All right, well, we got a book.
Yes.
What do you have? And we do this at the end of every podcast,
Yes.
or in the past maybe dozen or so, maybe the last 20. Just a book review since you love to read.
This is the first in a 5-book series. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. The Mysterious Benedict Society. I will admit I've only read the first 3, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I actually haven't read all of them.
Oh. Okay.
But this is the first book, and I will say, I think I read it when I was 8, and it took me, I think, 3 reads to understand it all fully. I still figure out new things each time. But, sorry. Okay.
Hiccups?
It starts with, Are you a gifted child looking for special opportunities? When this peculiar ad appears in the newspaper, dozens of children enroll to take a series of mysterious mind-bending tests. And you, dear reader, can test your wits right alongside them. But in the end, just 4 special children will succeed. Their challenge: to go on a secret mission that only the most intelligent and resourceful children could complete. With their newfound friendship at stake, will they be able to pass the most important test of all? Welcome to the Mysterious Benedict Society. Very interesting. There's a ton of twists and turns. There's a big reveal at the end. And it's a friendship that you might not think of, but they all have things in common. But then their differences help them work together.
Love that. Love that. I love you very much.
Love you.